Hello viewers, my name is Mfarashi Jele and welcome back to another episode of Women in Power. So this is a podcast which talks about women in leadership positions, and we look at the various challenges they are facing while they're in these leadership positions and what they did to take on these leadership positions. So today we have more young women. We have 4 young women from Chitumbiza, and we are going to be talking about the challenges they've been facing in the community and some of the things they would like to see change. So we are going to be hearing more from them. So they're just going to introduce themselves, and we'll get right into it. Uh,
Okay,
yeah.
my name is Isabel Masiwa. I'm a sign language interpreter. Thank you. My name is Talent Mapeturi. I live here in Chitumbiza community. Hello everyone. My name is Melissa Zenda. I also lead a deaf community group in this area, Chitumbiza. Thank you. My name is Betty Spedi. I am from Chitumbiza.
My name is Peter and I'm my colleagues. I stay in the team.
All right. All right, so there you have it. So we're just going to jump right in. I think before we start, we're just going to start to talk a bit about the challenges they've been facing in life, the challenges you have been, facing before we start to get to the deeper things. Yeah.
The first challenge is lack of support. Next is,
Yes.
alright, like in some communities, kuti inini ndikwanise ndozosapoti vanhu zvimwe zvekozi ava vanhu ndo vanokwanisa kuita izvi neizvi neizvi, inini ndakuda kuita hapana nawana anoda kumira neni. Then the second challenge is gender stereotype. Like mucommunity medu kunyadzimwe zvinongonzi munhu anokwanisa kumirira white kuti village vanhu inini handina kodzero yekunzi ndomiro ndinonzi mukadzi anona zvekumba zvekumirira kutungamira ukwanisa.
I have other friends who also faces challenges. For example, whether they are sick, they want to try and communicate with other, maybe like visiting the hospitals, there's always a challenge in terms of communication. So I understand that deaf community always suffer because there is lack of sign language interpretation and there is a lot of discrimination. Number two, deaf children, other times they are always like stigmatized, even at home they are always stigmatized, and other times they don't even go to school because they are not being supported. Thank you. Other deaf women in communities, like if there is information that is being disseminated, the deaf women, they always lack, okay, like in other times, the deaf community, they always lack information because the information will be inaccessible for the deaf community because of no sign language. And again, in hospitals, there is always no interpreters to assist them, especially when you are pregnant, if you want to access healthcare services. So So it's a challenge again.
Wow, wow. So,
Mhm. So most of the times the deaf are always discriminated, and it always breaks my heart.
wow. There are a lot of challenges. I can see that. We can see that from different aspects of life, from schools, from what you're saying, from schools, at home, in the community. Um, I think the next question from the viewers and from everyone would be, seeing that you're all here and we can see that you're doing quite well yourselves, they would, I think they want to know how have you been getting through all this? You know, what have you been doing to, fight these challenges, fight these stereotypes, and the stigma? How have you been able to, just soldier through it?
Yeah, in 2013, government has approved that sign language is one of the constitutional language that is supposed to be used in Zimbabwe. So I always think that we must fight and also promote the use of sign language to all people in Zimbabwe, so that they also know our deaf culture, so that we'll be able to solve the communication barriers in all institutions like hospitals and police, because we want to make sure that this barrier is reduced. Thank you.
All right. She's brought up a very good point. You say that it's now been recognized as an official language, but you see that in schools, a lot of people are not really. It's not really being taught in schools. For example, where I'm from, we didn't have any of that, unfortunately, apart from a chart that was in the classroom on the wall. But other than that, nothing. And we didn't really have anyone to teach us. And you only got to look at the chart if there was a student who was interested in it. But still, there were no teachers who taught us sign language. So I think that is very. I think a lot still has to be done. What would be your opinion on that? How can we change that in schools in particular?
So back then we understand that there was no sign language, even materials in sign language in school. So I think maybe we should start from having materials in sign language as well. We must also train interpreters in those institutions, so that there is an improvement in terms of sign language use and training in schools.
Interesting. So you've pointed out that if correct me, if I'm mistaken, you lead a group in the community for deaf people. People would be interested. What made you think that I should do this, or rather, what gave you the courage to step up and be a leader in your community?
I myself, I've been confident, because all I want is to be a role model to the deaf community and give them confidence as well that a deaf person can also lead.
Yeah. Yes. So how long have you been doing this, and when did you start? What do you really do? What is it like?
Or sometimes we focus on finance abuse. So we also do different thematic areas. We focus on different thematic areas and we try to advocate for them, for those issues. Like, for example, she has mentioned abuse and violence. So the group is more about an advocacy group that advocates for different focusing areas.
So
So how long have you been? been 3 years now.
Well, yeah, that's something. So do you work with everyone, or maybe young women? Is there like a particular age range? Um,
It's all about including everyone. We don't actually discriminate or segregate any type of disability. We always mainly we mostly focus on disability issues. So definitely we include all types of disabilities.
so all of them, not just
Not just the deaf community.
All right, all right, all right. So, to everyone, are there any leadership positions that you are in? It doesn't matter, be it from a home, church, and anywhere.
This Deaf Pride, I'm also a leader. Remember I said I focus on workshop trainings, and at home I've got a own business that focuses on baking and making samosas and also beadwork.
Some listeners, maybe we can, maybe we can come over and get some of that, the cakes and stuff.
No problem, you are welcome.
So I think would also be interested to know if you've been also facing any challenges in particular in the organizations and in the spaces you're living in, and how you've been overcoming these challenges.
Mhm. So in communities and organizations, remember it is important we must have a budget for all programming areas, especially for disabilities. So, for example, if someone wants to go to hospital, you must have a provision, a budget for a sign language interpreter so that she can actually assist in healthcare. So we must have a budget of interpreters. So I think our challenge number one is there is financial constraint. So in terms of programming, we should try to have budgets for interpreters. So yeah, I also think that sign language, at times there are other deaf children who doesn't even know sign language, right? So I think there is need for training of those children. And at times another challenge is your point. So the challenge she's trying to actually bring out is at times there are other children who doesn't even know sign language, even if they are deaf, right? So when the teacher comes, well, there's totally something else she won't be understanding. So I think there is also need for having a deaf person who can actually come in and maybe do a relay interpretation so that they actually understand. So I think as people with disability, whether being blind or having physical disability, it's also important for us to be engaged in different platforms that everyone else is in, because at times we are always segregated.
Yes, yes.
So I think it's the most important is to support the people with disabilities actually. Yeah.
All right. So that also comes to a very important point that we might also want to know. Um, we can see that a lot of these challenges perhaps may be coming from a point of ignorance, or maybe a point of because there is no one in those higher places, those leadership places, who really maybe know all these challenges, or who really experience them in order to know what is really needed. What do you think is, in fact, maybe the question is rather, is it easy for you to enter the political spaces and all those leadership spaces, be it in the councils, communities, or on parliamentary level, or maybe being involved in elections, just decision-making spaces?
We understand that most people, they are not aware about disability issues. So at times it's actually something that we hesitate to join, like for example politics. So at times it's also about us not having the interest of joining the politics, because we know that the people in the decision making, they really don't understand the disability issues. So it's not easy for us to join. So maybe if we can maybe raise awareness or capacitate them on how to do maybe disability management training for them, it would also assist them to know, and maybe they would later engage with us as well. Number two, I think government must have an expert or someone who has got a disability who can actually capacitate them, because now we have been trying, but I think it's better to have a person with disability be included in the government. Then I think maybe some of the issues will be resolved as time goes on.
Yes, that is very true, because you cannot make policies that affect people when you don't really have those people in those decision-making spaces. Um, Maybe as we about to conclude, as we end, as we get towards the conclusion, there may be a young girl out there. What does anyone have something to say to a young girl out there? Maybe it's a word of encouragement, or maybe encouraging them to be leaders as you are yourselves, and yeah, maybe that.
So I would like to say that we understand that people have got challenges, but I think you should have control with your life. That's what I want to tell them. Something like you are in control of your life, so maybe lead Shishoma so that we are awareness in sign language. So I would like to say people should also learn sign language. So awareness raising in sign language is a must for all people.
Anyone else? Everyone? Just a few words of encouragement.
I think it's my young women or young girls, we should teach them they should lead without fear, and you should be a role model to them so that they know Jikadavuja age is really right, and but there should be support to them.
What about you? So I would want to say to all young women and girls, you must try and learn so that your future will be bright. Don't be discouraged. You must keep on learning. in life. Yeah. What about you? To all young women, you must be included. Don't segregate yourself from all people. Yeah. So that's all I
Yeah,
can say.
powerful words
Thank you.
there. Thank you. Powerful words there. So she said you should get more involved. Don't segregate yourselves. And I think it's safe to say that we've learned quite a lot in this episode. And for those who want to know more, let us engage. On our social media platforms. Let us engage on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube, and let us keep the conversation going. I think this is it for today's episode. For me, Mufaro Jele, this has been Women in Power. If you liked what you're watching, like, subscribe, and let's engage. Thank you.